It's October 3rd, 2024. I'm with Mr. John Jeckovich, and we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons. And we're on chapter 19, which is titled Courting Delphine. This is the second segment in docuseries 384. Docuseries 384. Mr. Jeckovich, in 2 weeks, on October 17th, he'll be 99 years old. Mr. Jeckovich on October 17th will be 99 years old. He was born October 17th, 1925. October 17th, 1925. And we kid and affectionately refer to Mr. Jeckovich's birthday as we say, Mr. Jeckovich, on October 17th, you'll be celebrating your 78th anniversary of your 21st birthday. Yeah, makes you feel younger too. So Mr. Jeckovich on October 17th, 2024, will be celebrating his 78th anniversary of his 21st birthday. That's a wonderful thing. And Mr. Jeckovich is in perfect health. Reads the newspaper without glasses. He's shake your hand, he'll knock you down to the floor. Never had a prescription or a vitamin. He jogged for 80 years, even though he's been shot up at the war. Shot up, beat up, bombed, stabbed, trench foot, frostbite, yeah. You name it. That's why we nicknamed him the Super Soldier. The Super Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
The Super Soldier. Bronze, 2 bronze stars, Purple Heart. The list is long. The list is long. There's only approximately 6,000 or 7,000 World War II combat vets left. There's maybe 90,000 more of the rear echelon left. But we started off at 16,400,000. And we're losing them at a rate of 150 a day, so do the math. Here's your chance to ask questions. Here's your chance to talk and text with a real World War II combat vet. This man was no rear echelon. He was up at the front line. Many battles, including the Battle of the Bulge. Mr. Jeckovich has lived a long time, and as I say, he goes by the motto that yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's what he lives by then and now. That's what he lives by then and now. So, and Mr. Jeckovich says all along, because he jogged for 80 years, that he's got 2 doctors. He's got 2 doctors, his left leg and his right leg. His left leg and right leg. What a great way to think and be so healthy for almost 100 years. It's a beautiful thing. So, if you want to text Mr. Jeckovich a happy birthday wish or any questions about the war, World War II, Battle of Bulge, and others, text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. Text Mr. Jeckovich at 407-366-0000. Or as we say at the beautiful island, God's country, or as we say at the beautiful island of Defusky Island, South Carolina, 407-366-0000. 407-366-0000. So any questions, text Mr. Jeckovich. He'll personally respond to you in a day or 2, maybe 3, depending on how many come in. And also think about him. Send him a birthday wish. 99 years old on October 17th. October 17th. So right now we're reading his book, Their Mother's Sons. We're on chapter 19. And this chapter is titled Courting Delphine. He's courting Delphine Stulak Jeckovich, and this marriage lasted for 69 years. One of the better parts of the marriage was that your mother and Delphine hit it off so great.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about it, how they shop and do things together.
Well, my Delphine couldn't cook, so I told Mom, if they get a hold of Delphine, she's trying to cook. She's killing me.
She's killing you.
And they got along great. Yeah, Delphine, my mother got along good.
And then your mother, and then your Delphine would drive around your mother.
Oh, yeah, once I told Delphine to drive, she was inaccessible to me. She drove my mother all over. She said, Delphine, we're going to go here. They went to Buffalo at the snow store.
So your mother had no more loneliness problems.
Huh?
When your Delphine came into your life, your mother had no more loneliness problems.
Oh, yeah.
Those were solved.
Yeah.
And they did everything together. It was a beautiful thing.
She'd watch TV with her till 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was Lawrence Welk and Grand Central Station and all that. And then she comes trampling up the steps at 10 o'clock.
No kidding. No kidding. And they both enjoyed Lawrence Welk.
Huh?
They both enjoyed Lawrence Welk.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bubbles floating around.
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Welk, yeah.
And he had an accent too, didn't he?
Yeah, he was German, yeah.
Yeah. That was wonderful.
I want Anna 2, Anna 3.
That was a popular show back then. That was an unbelievably popular show back then. So your mother and Delphine really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Wow. So courting Delphine's a great chapter because in the past, Mr. Jeckovich had several girlfriends, Renee, Anne Mahaney, Valerie. Oh, the list is long, but this one finally worked out. And this is the first girl that Mr. Jeckovich ever brought home. Why didn't you bring the rest at home?
I don't think my mother would agree with them. I mean, they were decent girls and that, but they were more open-minded than Delphine was.
How do you think your mother would have liked Valerie?
Valerie, she wouldn't have.
How do you think your mother would have liked Anne Mahaney?
She might like her, yeah.
How do you think your mother would have liked Renee?
Who?
How do you think your mother would have liked Renee?
She would like her, yeah. She would, because she's a good, solid Catholic. She was a priest. She grew in
None, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think your mother would have liked Jean Young?
Jean?
Yeah.
She wouldn't like her, no.
Wouldn't have liked her. Well, you did the right thing. You brought the right one home.
Yeah.
You stayed married for 69 years. If you want to hear the tribute that Mr. Jeckovich made to his wife of 69 years, just go through some of our prior tapings and you'll see tribute to Delphine Stulak Jeckovich. It's a very touching tribute. It's very nice. It tells the whole story. Tells the whole story. So, and then when you first married Delphine, she wasn't a good cook.
No, no.
She didn't have a driver's license, right?
No, she couldn't drive, no.
Where'd you teach her to drive at?
Out behind Hyde Park, where the golf lake was, and there was a big open field there, and I taught her in the Volkswagen.
Did she catch on?
She caught out with the gears stripping all over, yeah.
Oh, a lot.
She had to work the clutch. She couldn't understand the clutch at first.
Oh, okay. But after a while, she drove all
Oh,
over.
yeah, well, she drove to Pittsburgh a couple of times. Sally got sick of it. I said, Delphine, you gotta drive.
Wow. That's interesting. Was any of Delphine's family members, like her brother or the father, in the military?
No.
No.
No, the brother was, he enlisted in the Navy, yeah.
Navy. But they weren't World War II.
No.
They weren't World War II. And what type of work did Delphine's father do?
He was a carpenter and a builder. He was building houses.
So he was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
He was doing pretty good. Could you imagine some of the most beautiful homes back then would sell for like $8,000, $9,000, $10,000?
Yeah, yeah.
And they're still standing today.
Yeah.
They're still standing today, but the only difference is they're $600,000 and $700,000 from $8,000 or $9,000. It's just amazing how things have changed. And most of your gas back when you were driving was 19 cents a gallon.
19 cents a gallon, yeah.
You could fill it up, the whole damn car, for $5, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now it's in the hundreds. Now it's in the hundreds. It's just amazing how things have changed. Yeah, things have changed. And then did Delphine work at Grant's once she got married?
No, she was a housewife after that.
So did she work the WT Grants right up to your marriage?
No,
She quit?
she no work. She was a housewife.
I mean, before you got married, did she work right up before the wedding?
Oh no, she quit probably a couple of weeks before.
Prior.
Yeah.
Where'd you go on your honeymoon?
With the Poconos.
You got married in a Roman Catholic church.
Yeah.
Do you remember who the best man was?
Lucky.
Okay. And do you not remember who the maid of honor was? The maid of honor? Who was that?
Helen something. Helen Shemansky or something.
Okay. That was your mother's friend, right?
Yeah.
Was the mass in English, Latin, or Polish?
English.
That's interesting. Because back when Mr. Jeckovich was a young boy, all the Roman Catholic masses were in Latin. And then later in Polish, and then now as we...
Oh, I had community day too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it handed me the hand. I took it in my mouth.
No wonder why you're looking so well.
Yeah.
No wonder why you're looking
Handed
so
my
well.
hand, took it, put it in my mouth.
Beautiful. I think that came from St. Brendan's.
Huh?
I think that church was St. Brendan's today. Beautiful. You've been around. This is a beautiful day. This is a beautiful day. It really is. So, when you had the wedding at a Catholic church, was that in Niagara Falls or Buffalo?
It was in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Holy Trinity. Yeah, Holy Trinity. No. What was that English church? What was that English church on Niagara Street?
Our Lady of the Rosary?
Yeah, Our Lady of the Rosary.
Okay. Okay. That was great. So, this Poconos honeymoon, that was a big honeymoon spot back then?
Yeah. We went there when the kids were born and everything.
Oh, yeah? Where is that located, the Poconos?
Outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay. And was it like a farm town or a ski resort town?
No, it was a agriculture village, but they had good food, good people there.
Nice people. And what did you have for your honeymoon? A cabin?
We had a cabin, yeah.
And then, would you cook in your cabin or would you go
No,
to...
we went down to the dining room.
Okay, so explain to us what this dining room looked like.
It was antique. It was clean. It wasn't a modernistic one. It was what you see in 1940s, 50s.
Did it have a fireplace in it?
Big fireplace there, yeah.
I see. And did you have a table by yourself or with other people?
No, there was tables in there, yeah.
Okay. And everyone in that dining room was everyone in that dining room was on their honeymoon?
No, there were couples that were just in there for an anniversary or something.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of honeymooners in there.
It was a honeymoon spot, yeah.
Do you remember what the weather was like during all this?
In August?
Well,
No, that was the winter time.
yeah, so you remember what the weather was like during your honeymoon?
February, yeah, it was cold, yeah. And we went tobogganing, we went skiing. We didn't ski,
Oh, yeah.
but she roller skated. I skated.
Ice skated. How'd she ice skate?
She's good, yeah.
And then how many weeks did you take off from work for your honeymoon?
I took off 2 weeks. Well, that was my vacation.
Vacation time.
Yeah.
Vacation time. And by that time, Delphine was no longer employed at WT Grants.
No, she quit, yeah.
Okay. And besides tobogganing and skiing, was there any movie theaters around that you go to or at the
During that time?
At the Poconos?
No, there was stage shows. They had stage shows there. they put a roller come in and have a little actors come in and that.
Was it a pretty nice stage show? Pretty nice stage show?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have a lot of snow during your honeymoon, or was it just
No,
mild?
I put chains on the tires.
You did?
Yeah, I put chains on the tires. I got 5 miles out of the Pocono. I took the chains off.
Wow. How do you put chains on a tire?
You just flatten them out, roll over it, and hook up on a hook, one hook up to get another one. Then put the springs in it, tighten it up, and that's it.
All right, so let me just try to understand this. I never put chains on a tire. You lay the chains out flat, and then you drive your tire over them?
No, you just drive the tire over the bottom of it, and then take it with the 2-hang, take the chain and put it on top, and then hook it, spring it, tighten with the springs.
Okay. And then with chains on those tires, you could go down just about any street.
It would go down, but they're banging the hell out of the fenders.
Oh, the loose chains?
Yeah.
So you had a lot of...
Well, the fasteners would be loose, and when they went around, they would whack on the fender.
So you wouldn't use that on the highway?
No.
Just on...
And I used it on the highway to get out, but one minute I got on a dry highway, the weather changed, I took them off.
I see. And where'd you store them, in the back seat or something?
So in the trunk,
Where's the trunk?
in the back of the car.
On a Volkswagen?
No,
I thought-
it was in the front.
Front, yeah.
Front.
Because I thought the engine was in the back of that
Yeah,
Volkswagen.
air cooled.
Yeah. And then when you're driving with chains during the snowstorm, how'd that heater work?
The heater in the Volkswagen, you gotta go real fast to get any heat out because that's the only way that heat's coming out of the engine from the velocity of the car.
So otherwise it was no good.
Huh?
Otherwise it was no
No,
good,
there
right?
was no heater in there, no.
Wow. What color was that Volkswagen?
I had a tan one, and Sally had a black one.
What color was the Volkswagen you took on your honeymoon? What color was the Volkswagen you took on your honeymoon?
That we took on a honeymoon.
What color was that one?
Tan.
Tan. Was that a radio delete, or did you have a radio in it?
No, there was no radio. There was
No radio. Bare bones.
Yeah.
Bare bones. You think that Volkswagen's still out there today?
Today?
Yeah, because they're made well, those things.
Yeah, it's easy to work on.
Anyone could work on it, right?
Yeah.
What's the fastest speed you could get up to in that thing?
Probably 70, 75.
And that's it then, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That's an amazing story. That's
It's a
amazing.
well-built car. They use those, Germans use that in the army.
Yeah.
In the war.
They called it the people's car.
Yeah.
Ferdinando Porsche was right behind that one.
Yeah.
The people's car. Volkswagens have sold more cars than any other vehicle around the world. Could you imagine that? Any other car was outsold by
Well,
Volkswagen.
there was a French Citroen.
Yeah, the French
The
Citroen.
English one was what that was the English have? Citroen that had the Escapade or some stupid thing.
But let's talk about the French Citroen. Those are very unusual cars, and they have a hydraulic system in a Citroen where you can pull back the gauges on the dash if you had a flat tire, and the hydraulics should raise up one side so you didn't need a jack. So now you got your tires on one side 2 feet up, and you could change your tire right then and there.
They jacked it up.
You didn't even have to jack it up with those hydraulics in the Citroen. They're just unusual cars. They're unusual. They made about 3 or 4 different makes. Some of them are so slow they can't get it out of their own way, and others will just go pretty well. But the interesting thing that the Citroen is noted for is the hydraulic suspension. The hydraulic suspension. That was a key fact. But there again, anytime you have something hydraulic, you always got problems. It's always going to be the way. You always have problems. Minutes, please.
10.
10.
So let me read a couple pages because I don't want to get off the subject here. As the car is approaching headlights broke my spell we had induced. She moved away so I might start the car. As we drove out of the parking lot, she moved close to me and put her head on my shoulder. I took her hand in mine and we drove back to Main Street to Bailey Avenue. What kind of street was Bailey Avenue?
Bailey Avenue was a big street. A lot of department stores, automobile shops.
And then to Broadway, and then turned into Coons Avenue.
Coons, yeah, that's where Delphine lived.
Delphine lived on Coons.
Coons off of Broadway, yeah.
Do you remember the number on Coons? Do you remember the address on Coons?
It was 1421 or something.
1421 Coons. It was after 1 a.m. Oh my God, your mother's going to kill you. It was after 1 a.m. and I was a little concerned about the lateness of the hour and how Delphine's parents would react to it. I turned the headlights off and left the engine running. May I see you tomorrow, I uttered, holding her hand. I work this stupid shift work. I go in at midnight Tuesday and I won't see you for a whole week. Shift work is a pain in the ass, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that was my fault. That was my fault, yeah.
You did 35 years. You never missed a day. You're a very devoted person with lots of integrity. Now you can't get someone to show up 5 days in a row, let alone 35 years. Did the tires of your car ever enter the parking lot of Kimberly-Clark?
No.
Never. How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark for 35 years?
Walked.
How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark during those terrific snowstorms they had there?
Well, I had those not high top boots, but they were weatherized shoes.
How'd you get to Kimberly-Clark during the big rain and thunderstorms?
With an umbrella.
So you never missed a day.
No, I never called looking to take me to work or nothing, no.
Unbelievable. She turned toward me and replied, let's go on a picnic at Delaware Park.
Oh, yeah.
I'll bring a basket and that should be fun. What's Delaware Park?
No, it was a big park outside of Buffalo.
Was it nice?
A nice park, yeah. Well, Letchworth was nice too.
Wasn't Letchworth noted for, at this time of the year especially, October and November, the beautiful chestnuts?
Change the leaves too.
Yeah, but how about the chestnuts?
Yeah.
Do you remember as a boy making chestnut necklaces?
Yeah.
Chestnut bracelets?
Yeah.
Weren't those chestnuts so big and beautiful?
Oh yeah, they could do anything with them, yeah.
Yeah.
Drill holes or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of people put them in their slingshot and whip them at people. But those chestnuts, I didn't think about a chestnut since thinking about, you told me about Letchworth State Park.
Yeah.
Beautiful chestnuts. Did you have many chestnut trees on Orleans Avenue?
No.
Where did you find them at?
I found them at Letchworth Park.
As a boy, did you go collect chestnuts?
Huh?
As a boy, did you collect chestnuts?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Delaware Park. With that, she reached over, kissed me gently on the cheek, and was out of the car before I could react to her leaving. She turned she turned as she got to the side door, waved and went inside. I sat there for a moment, reflecting, and drove off. What a change in perception. I thought I had read Delphine's attitude and demeanor all wrong. Instead of a aloof person, I believed her to be, all of a sudden became bright, lovely personality, whom I became extremely fond of.
Yeah, but she was shy.
Yeah, shy, yeah. We had much in common, even though our backgrounds were different, and I assumed she had a more sheltered life than I. But basically, we were very much similar in temperament and outlook.
Well, see, Delphine was end of the line at home where her house is, because that Jean was a government worker. She worked in Washington, and she was the king of the queen. She thought she was working with the president.
No kidding. Wow.
I didn't like her. I didn't like the daughter. I didn't like the sister. No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Wow. How
But
was
then we babysitter with her kids and everything.
really?
Really high.
How was his sister's husband? He was a funny guy, that I take it.
Yeah.
5 minutes.
He was a funny guy.
He's in the cars, but he couldn't fix cars. You know, some of the engines, you know, what size the engines, when they were born, burned, produced, and everything. But he couldn't fix them.
Couldn't fix it. Do you remember his name?
Eddie.
Eddie. Okay.
Eddie.
Fast Eddie.
Eddie, yeah.
Fast Eddie. Okay. Okay, let's see. I felt good that night driving home and was looking forward to seeing Delphine tomorrow and meeting her family. Well, meeting her family would be an ordeal, as it always was for me. I was thankful it was not no other way around it. She was coming to meet my family. I got home a little before 2 a.m. and Mother and Sally were sound asleep. Looky was not home yet. Looky was not home yet. I quickly washed up, brushed my teeth, and slipped into bed. I thought about Delphine and how much this evening reminded me of the times I spent with Renee and how much alike they both were, physically as well as emotionally. I knew it impossible to make a comparison, but instilled in me was perhaps some distorted fashion closely associated with Renee. It would much later into our relationship that I would discover how that relationship fit into the scheme of things. I also thought before I fell asleep I was to break the news to Mother that I was going out again tomorrow. Your mother's not going to like that. And in early afternoon, somehow, it did not take on the significance of the big crisis anymore. Mother would have to trust me and my sense of responsibility. As I drove to Delphine's house that Sunday afternoon, I felt a little apprehensive, but I also felt something else. I would once again witness how others lived their lives together, tranquilly and lovingly. I had seen this time again, with Anne and her mother, and Jean and her parents, but she never viewed it with Renee, as both of the parents were dead. Both of Renee's parents are dead because this is when the Nazis occupied Paris, and the Nazis killed Renee's parents and Renee's both her younger brothers, while the Nazis were occupying Paris for 4 long, miserable years. Delphine met me at the door, and I could see she was just as nervous as I was. I gave her hand a squeeze and put my other hand into mine for a moment. She walked ahead of me into the living room where her mother was seated. Her father was not home, and I took this as a good omen. She introduced me to her mother, and smiled warmly as I greeted her. She seemed a little like a loving parent, but my instant feeling was that I would never be close to her, which proved to be correct in the distant future. Why would you say that? That you'd never be close to her?
Well, it was a different culture.
We talked a little again. It was a distinct impression that Delphine was not her favorite child, even though she loved her very much. Being a minority in my own family minutes, I quickly gained insight into the situation in other close groups. All the telltale signs was there.
20 seconds.
So you didn't really have a long-term relationship with the mother then, right?
Yeah.
And wonder why.
Her mother?
Yeah.
Well, that was just it. I was comparing her with my mother.
Okay.